Hi friends, this is CA Krontmar. In this video, let's move to the next part of our GST series, that is exemptions under GST. So we have a lot of exemptions covered under GST. So I have divided the whole part into different parts. So I am explaining some of those parts only, and you have to go through the remaining parts by using this document. I am posting the same in the Telegram link. Please check there. So the important exemptions only I am discussing here to save your time. So let's get into the topic. Number 1, services related to charitable and religious activities. Any services by an entity registered under 12A of the Income Tax Act is exempted, but some conditions are there. If conduct of a religious ceremony is completely exempted, and renting of premises of religious place is exempted, but subject to these three conditions. These three are taxable. That is, charges for renting of rooms more than 1000 per day is taxable. If it is less than 1000, that is completely exempted. And charges for renting of premises, community halls and kalyana mandapam are open area of the trust to any entity more than 10,000 is taxable. Less than 10,000 per day is completely exempted. And similarly, charges for renting of shops, spaces for business, commerce are more than 10,000 per month is completely taxable, and below the limit is completely exempted. And number 2, agricultural related services. In GST, most of the agricultural services are exempted. So you can go through all these topics which were covered completely agricultural services, so you can go through. And number 3, educational services. Here you have to see in two different ways: services provided by an educational institution and services provided to an educational institution. And services provided by an educational institution to its students, faculty and staff by way of conduct of entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fee is completely exempted in the hands of educational institutions. And services provided to educational institutions, this particular exemption is applicable only to an institution providing services by of preschool education and education up to the higher secondary or equivalent education institutions only, and by way of transportation of students, faculty and staff is completely exempted. And providing services to an educational institutions by way of catering, including midday meal scheme sponsored by the central government or state government or union territory, is completely exempted in the hands of the service provider. And another thing, security or cleaning, housekeeping services performed by any education institutions, then it is also completely exempted. And services relating to admission or conduct of examination by such an education institution is also completely exempt. Is online education of journals or periodicals. This exemption is applicable only to an institution providing services by way of education as a part of curriculum for obtaining qualification. And next part is healthcare services. Healthcare services by a clinical establishment or authorized medical practitioner or paramedics for transportation of a patient in ambulance is completely exempted by any person other than the specified above. And stem cells preservation by cord blood banks is completely exempted. And services by veterinary clinic in relation to the health care of animals and birds are completely exempted. And next we are moving to the services provided by a government. In your mind, a question might arise that the government is collecting the GST, then why it will levy GST on its own services? Then the answer is, the GST is destination based tax, so the liability to pay is on the ultimate consumer. Here the services provided by government, so it will collect the GST from the recipient. So if it is exempted, the government can't collect the GST from the ultimate recipient, so it is not exempting the services. So let us discuss the services provided by the government which are exempted. Services provided by the government by way of activity in relation to function entrusted to a municipality or panchayat under Article 243W or 243G of the Indian Constitution is completely exempted, and services by way of local authority excluding the following services are exempted. Means these services are completely taxable. So you have to remember carefully these things, that the services provided by way of post, for speed post, express parcel post, life insurance agency services provided to person other than central government or state government and union territory are completely taxable, and the services in relation to an aircraft, a vessel inside outside precincts of an airport is also taxable. That's why airports or airport authority is charging GST on the ultimate recipients, that is passengers, and the transportation of goods or passengers, these were completely taxable, and these three were called specified services. You have to remember. So we can use the same word later also while services come into picture, and any services other than these specified services above provided to business entities are also taxable. So please go through the remaining parts of services which were provided by the central government, state government or union territory. I am posting the same document, same ebook on the Telegram link, so you can go through. So I am moving to the next part, that is construction services. In this, pure labor contracts of construction, erection, commissioning, installation, completion, fitting out, repairs and maintenance, renovation or alteration of civil structure or any other original works pertaining to the beneficiary led individual house construction or enhancement under housing. Also, any pure labor contracts provided is completely exempted relating to these services, and services supplied by electricity distribution utilities by way of construction, erection, commissioning or installation of infrastructure for extending the electricity distribution work up to the tube well of the farmer or agricultural for agricultural use is completely exempted, and pure labor contracts of construction for these services pertaining to the single residential unit is also completely exempted. And the next topic, goods transport services. Here you have to remember GTA, because services by way of transportation of goods is completely exempted, but except the following services, that is the services provided by GTA or courier agency, these two were taxable, and railway equipment or material exempted when the transported by rail or vessel, and the transportation of goods exempt when the transport by goods carriage where the consideration charged for the transportation of goods on a consignment transported in a single carriage is less than 1500, then it is exempted. More than this, that is more than 1500, it is completely taxable, and in case of single consignee more than 750 is taxable. Up to these limits were exempted. Suppose the GTA is transporting the exempt goods or services, then also it is completely exempted. As we have already discussed, agricultural product and milk goods, pulses, rice, organic manure, and newspaper and magazines, defense and military equipment, and relief material meant for victims, these were completely exempted. Transportation of these products by GTA is also completely exempted. If GTA is providing services to an unregistered person, this is very important. Services provided by GTA to an unregistered person, including unregistered casual taxable person, is completely exempted, except these following recipient, that is factory, society, cooperative society, body corporate, partnership firm, and registered casual taxable persons. These were completely taxable. And next, banking and financial transactions. Services provided by RBI is completely exempted, and services by way of extending loans, deposits or advances insofar as the consideration is represented by way of interest or discount is completely exempted. And services provided by banking company to basic saving banks, deposit and account holders under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is also completely exempted, and the remaining parts we have to go through. And next part is legal services. Services provided by an arbitral tribunal, partnership firm of advocates, or an individual as an advocate other than a senior advocate by way of legal services, or senior advocate by way of legal services to any person other than business entity, or business entity with an aggregate turnover up to such an amount in the preceding financial year as it makes eligible for exemption, means less than 20 lakhs or less than 40 lakhs, whichever is applicable in case of services or goods. In these services, providing legal services, these services are completely exempted. So other exempt services are there. You have to go through all these exempt services chapter is completely, you have to remember, you have to go through and you have to remember. There is no much topic to explain, because all the services were directly exempted by of giving directly in this section. So you have to go through most of these topics and remember. That's why I couldn't explain most of the topic, so please go through. So this is for the day. Thank you very much. For more interesting updates and for the next part of GST series, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.